this entire conspiracy would not have been hatched. Pakistan wouldn't have been able to indoctrinate these doctors but for the help of a Maulvi or cleric based in Srinagar. Viewers have already tweeted this morning, we broke that story. A Maulvi, we are being told, was the go-between between the Islamic Republic of Pakistan and the doctors and their accomplices, the OGWs. All this was revealed by the OGWs that were caught pasting posters all across Srinagar. And they were all caught, viewers, on camera. And once they were identified, they were questioned and they said, listen, we are working, we are only foot soldiers, we are only putting up these Jaish posters. But we are all being directed by a Maulvi. So viewers, the forces took the Maulvi and detained him. And the Maulvi sang like a canary. And he pointed to this entire module of all these people that you're seeing on your screens. The Maulvi, viewers, a man of peace supposedly, of harmony, a man of God, had become an agent of the devil. What does this tell us about the nature of the threat we are facing? Simply this: it's a religious doctrine that feeds on hate and supremacism, and therefore, viewers, it can be easily injected. It sees the world in two: Darul Harb and Darul Islam, the non-believing world and the pure Islamic world. And people who are living in the non-believing world must either be exterminated, converted, or, viewers, there should be war. And that's why, viewers, there is a war being waged on the Indian nation state, on the idea of India, because it's a secular idea of India. It sits very, very oddly with this political Islam, viewers. And that's why Yogi Adityanath said that this is the number one anti-India threat. And that's why this team of Mir Jafars that you see on your screen, viewers, was aligned with the ISIS and the Jaish-e-Mohammed. Both want to set up caliphates in the subcontinent. In fact, they want to set up an Islamic arc that goes all the way from the Levant, viewers, across into Southeast Asia. Terror has a religion, and let's stop pretending that it doesn't. And for God's sake, let's stop secularizing terror. I know this doesn't sound politically correct. I know people will label me Islamophobic, but they are hypocrites because they are the first to talk about Hindu terror and Hindutva terror. To these hypocrites, I ask, will they, in the face of the overwhelming evidence and the denial, end it over Islamist terror? That's the fundamental question tonight, viewers. They're so quick to label. They're so quick to label anyone they think is politically convenient for them to label so that they can score a few brownie points with a particular ecosystem and a constituency. But when, viewers, you turn the glare, you point the finger at them and you say that by your logic, this is Islamist terror, they call you an Islamophobe. There's a lot of Mir Jafars, viewers, and they need to be pointed out. They need to be exposed. And I'm going to ask a question tonight. Faizan Kidwai, you're the spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Will you accept today, by your own logic, that there is something called Islamist terror, that there is a doctrine that sees the world in two hues, and that is what is percolating down? And that all those people who talk about alienation, disenfranchisement, etc., are making excuses, they are rationalizing this. Would you accept that tonight?
Good evening, Rahul. First of all, as the spokesperson of Samajwadi Party, on behalf of Samajwadi Party, I offer my condolences to the bereaved families of all those innocent people who lost their lives yesterday. And we as Samajwadi Party want the strictest possible punishment for the perpetrators, irrespective of their religion, irrespective of their ideology. And see, Rahul, I was listening to you said religion has, terror has a religion, and anyone who disagrees with it is a Mir Jafar, is a hypocrite. So I'm giving you some names, associate their religion with terror. Pradeep Kullar, senior DRDO scientist, he was spying for ISI. there was Dhruv Saxena and 10 other members of the same religion. Dhruv Saxena is the Bhopal BJP IT cell district coordinator, arrested by the Indian agencies. Balram Singh, Bajrang Dal leader, he was arrested for spying on ISI. Then UP ATS in 2017 arrested 11 people, reading the names: Gulshan Sen, Rahul Rastogi, Shivendra Mishra, Harshit Gupta, Vishal Thakkar,
what did you call these people?
Just hold on.
What did you call these people at that time? I tell you what you call them. You call them Hindu terrorists. You call them Hindu terrorists. Is it not a fact that you call them Hindu terrorists, Mr. Faizan Kidwai? Tell me. I want you to answer me tonight. Is it not a fact that you call Sadhvi Pragya Hindu terrorist? Yes or no? Yes or no? I know the roll call. I don't need your whataboutery. I want you to answer tonight. Faizan Kidwai, what did you call Sadhvi Pragya? I want to ask you, what did you call Sadhvi Pragya? What did you call her? What did you call Sadhvi Pragya?
Let me complete my point.
No, I want to ask you, sir, what did you call Sadhvi Pragya? Viewers, I'll tell you, this is the problem. This is the problem.
You are the problem.
Now I am the problem, viewers. Am I the cleric? What is a man of God, viewers? What is a man of God doing, indoctrinating people to pick up weapons and blow up other people in the name of God? What do you call that person?
This is pathetic on your part.
There you go. Faizan Kidwai, viewers, is usually playing the victim card. He's playing the victim card.
I'm not a victim. I am a proud Muslim and a proud Indian Muslim.
Okay.
I care for my country.
Okay.
If dare anybody acts against the interests of my country, that person should be hanged.
Very good. So now let me ask you. In that spirit,
Yeah.
let me ask you, Faizan Kidwai, please answer my question with all honesty tonight. Put your hand on your heart and answer this question with all honesty. What did you call Sadhvi Pragya? What did your party call her?
Sadhvi Pragya was accused of what she was accused.
What did you call her, sir? What did you call her? Please answer tonight. I'll read out the names of the SP leaders who called her a Hindu terrorist.
No. So you can ask those people who called whatever they called her.
Now just a minute.
See,
just
first
a minute.
of all, we do
just
not
a minute.
we do not associate.
I understand, sir. I give you full
terrorism.
marks. I give you full marks for whataboutery on this show. Now, viewers, let me tell you, they are very easily, they stand with leaders like Rahul Gandhi and company who constantly talk about Hindu terror in this country, Hindutva, saffron terror, linking it with a religion. There is a chief minister and his son in Tamil Nadu, their allies, who talks about one particular religion being a scourge on humanity. Viewers, here, when it comes to this, that entire ecosystem is shut, silent. They will not open their mouths. Viewers, why? Tell me something. 1 second. Faizan Kidwai, why were those people in Pahalgam killed? They were killed because they could not recite the kalma. Viewers, which Hindu? 1 second, now Mr. Kidwai, don't speak over me. I'm not responding to you. I'm not responding to you. You are not taking a position tonight because you are intellectually dishonest, and that is my biggest fear. Because we can never respond to Pakistan as one when we don't recognize the problem. And I want to open this up. No, 1 second. I'm not going to take, I am not going to get into this war of words, sir. As it is, this is a sensitive issue. I want to bring in the BJP national spokesperson tonight, sir, to Insina. Why do you feel most aggrieved? Tell me, honesty, as an Indian first.
Well, Rahul, Gajwai Hind has been an 800-year-old agenda. It did not succeed in the last 800 years. It will not succeed now. But yes, when you see doctor terrorists in a new avatar now, that shames the nation. That proves that educated terrorists can be 100 times deadlier than the conventional terrorists. Osama bin Laden, in fact, was an educated terrorist. And then you have this doctor lobby. Doctors who are supposed to save lives were planning to unleash what, I don't know what would have happened had the 2,900 kgs of ammonium nitrate not been caught. But yes, institutions like Al-Falah University and similar names, universities of similar names should come under the scanner, and I'm sure will come under the scanner. If radicalization is what is taught in them, that holds a grave national security threat. But having said that, I think today certain political parties, especially Samajwadi Party and the Congress Party, need to introspect. You were talking about the terms they used for Sadhvi Pragya, but at least in 3 terror cases between 2007 and 2012 when they were in office, Bareilly, Ayodhya and Varanasi, they tried to go soft on the culprits, they tried to withdraw the cases unsuccessfully. When it comes to Congress Party, as recently as about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Imran Masood, their member of parliament, had equated Hamas with Shahid Bhagat Singh. This is how they normalize terror. And of course, after Pulwama, Robert Vadra, the great member of Gandhi family, had blamed it on Hindutva. So this is how they act as enablers. And I think it's about time the Congress party, who, by the way, Rahul Gandhi seems to have mysteriously gone into another vacation, I think they need to take a firm stand on terror.
So let me ask Sheikh Amit. So 1 second. I'll come to you, Mr. Kitwai. No one is running away. But a little bit of honesty would help. Sheikh Amir, can you hear me? I want to ask you a question. What did these doctors lack? Every time you speak to a Kashmiri, you say that these young people are picking up the gun, they're disillusioned because they're alienated, they don't feel included. These 3 doctors from Pulwama, they studied in colleges that are financed by the Indian taxpayer. And look at how they rewarded or returned the favor by turning into the agents of the Islamist state and of the Jaish-e-Mohammed that is supported by Pakistan, that only views the subcontinent in one vision, which is that it all should become a caliphate. I'm not saying it, General Munir has said it. So Sheikh Amir, I want you to tell me, what did these 3 leaders lack, these 3 surgeons, these 3 doctors lack that made them pick up the gun?
I don't know what is the debate about.
Oh, you obviously don't know what the debate is about. So let me
told-
ask you
I
the
was
question
told-
again, Sheikh Amir.
Let me-
Why
let me-
did
wait,
three?
wait.
Why did
I
three?
heard you.
I'm asking you
I
the
heard you.
question.
I heard
Why
you. I
did
heard
3
you.
individuals
I heard you.
who were well
Thank you.
adapted, included, respected in Indian society, allowed, in fact, to continue their careers as doctors, turn to the radical hate of Jaish-e-Mohammed and allow themselves to be indoctrinated by Cleric? I want to ask you this question tonight.
I was told about that there will be a debate on a Delhi blast. And again, the same thing is happening, and you are talking about doctors. It pains me.
I want to ask you, sir,
It pains me.
3 doctors
You continue.
and a
I will
4th
not
one
speak
and a
anything.
5th one in
You
Gujarat
continue.
all pick up the weapon. I want to ask you, what did they
You should
lack,
be
sir?
awarded.
Where is the
You-
alienation here? They're embraced by the Indian state. They were funded, their education was funded by the Indian state at top colleges. Do you know how difficult it is to get into that Srinagar college?
I think you people
So I want to
should be
ask you,
awarded-
what did they lack,
people
sir?
You people should be awarded as the #1 investigating agency in the
What
world.
did they lack? What did they lack?
What-
Answer the
What
question.
did they lack? Your investigation is done. Yet government has not declared it as a terrorist
Okay.
attack, and you are
Yes.
saying you have investigated
Yes,
everything.
here you
every
are.
angle of
Here
it.
you are.
Every
Here
angle
you
of
are,
it.
an individual waffling, because this time he has been completely caught flat-footed. Major Arya, what did these people lack? You tell me. What did they lack, these ingrates? Developing ricin, viewers, they were developing ricin. Colorless, odorless gas that could have killed millions of people. A dirty
everything.
biochemical
You know
weapon.
everything.
What kind of perverts are these?
Living
off the Indian state, being paid by the Indian state.
Behaving like vultures.
Let me call in Major
vultures.
Arya. Let me call in Major Arya.
You always wait for
Okay.
such
Yes.
opportunity.
All right. So, Rahul, that is one part of it. This Dr. Shaheen from Lucknow, she actually took a franchisee of the Jaish-e-Mohammed's women wing. And this is very surprising. You see, this is a sickness of the mind. This is a sickness of the soul. It has no logic that he's a doctor, he's got those many opportunities, etc. This is a sickness of the mind, and it has to be dealt with accordingly. I'll tell you one important thing. One is anger, and I don't know where that anger comes from, but one is anger against the Indian state. But to actually create a biological and a chemical weapon that can kill hundreds of thousands of people.
No, but one
This
second. Anger can come from a place where you felt that you have been wronged. Bhai, Dr. Shaheen Saeed,
Jay.
privileged, a Muslim who has benefited in this country from open, secular and non-discriminatory upward mobility, no glass ceiling. Indian state enables her. And you
Yes.
say that she has gone and become a franchisee of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, an
Yes.
agency supported by the Pakistani state that wants to turn South Asia into the Darul Islam. Why? Why would she do that, sir? What is this?
That is the ideology, Rahul. That is the ideology. That is the ideology that played out in Kashmir when the Pandits were subject to genocide and rape and killing. That is what they want to implement. They want to implement Nizam-e-Mustafa. They are saying it on our faces. You see, we can say that no, this is not good. This is not the language to speak. Now, I'd like to ask any one of the panelists. You see, what is the meaning of Jaish-e-Mohammed? What is the literal meaning of Jaish-e-Mohammed? What is the meaning of
Samajwadi Party
Lashkar-e-Taiba?
spokesperson, can you please respond? What is the meaning of the word Jaish-e-Mohammed?
What is the meaning of Lashkar-e-Taiba?
What is the meaning of Lashkar-e-Taiba? Faizan Saab.
So am I sitting here to give meanings, talk about meanings of words? I really don't care
why don't you
whatever they
answer?
mean.
Why don't you answer? What is this?
Let me. I just want to say anyone, irrespective of their religion or ideology.
Now anyone irrespective. Now look at how. I want to ask you, Mr. Kidwai, would you respond?
Complete, sir. What's your problem? Why are you behaving like a BJP spokesperson?
BJP
has put some questions.
Viewers, I'm
Yes,
speaking
BJP
like
has
a
some-
nationalist Indian,
Let me-
a patriot son of this
everybody's a
country
nationalist.
who's asking a
Everybody is a
fundamental
nationalist.
question. Why
Yes.
is it that people
Okay.
in this
Okay.
country are picking up
Okay, sir.
weapons and are willing
Okay.
to go to the extent
I'll
of
tell you.
creating
I'll
a
tell you.
dirty, a
Yes.
dirty bomb to eliminate millions of people? We were very
Yes.
lucky, viewers, very lucky that this thing has been curtailed and
Okay,
cauterized.
curtailed.
Otherwise,
Okay,
we would have
now-
been gone,
Okay,
finished.
now let me tell
Hundreds
you
and
something.
thousands
Please
of
let
people
me-
would have
let me-
perished.
Now you're
please
talking
give me
about
time.
failure as
Let me
Patel,
bring
right?
in,
Please
no,
give me
Ishkaran
time. Please give
Bhandari,
me
because
time.
no one is going to answer my
let me-
question
let me-
tonight, viewers.
No,
This
no,
question
let
is a
me-
specific
please.
one. Ishkaran Bhandari, why aren't these people answering the
what
question?
Ishkaran-
Why are they
it's
now
my time
behaving
to answer.
like
Let me
victims and
complete.
calling everybody else all sorts of names? Why is this happening?
Rahul, the first thing we need to do is unflinchingly look at the truth, face it, and then deal with it. There is no point in expecting certain people to acknowledge reality because their votes or their business lies in denying reality. But certain realities have come out after the blast. What is the first reality? This entire narrative of lack of employment, lack of wealth, lack of opportunity, pushing a community into marginalized sections is making them terrorists, is demolished with the bombs of
please,
these
Rahul, give me
doctors.
time.
Anywhere in the
I'll
world,
give you time.
nothing-
I promise you.
Anywhere in the world, there is nothing more prestigious than being a doctor, including in India, and you had everything in the world going for. The second narrative, which is damaged, because we very often hear what about women, because we saw what happened in Delhi riots. We saw how these dadis came out to sit in front, and it was made that if the state takes any action, it's an action against women, which becomes an international call. Then we hear how women rights are not being respected, how we say that if we want to cover our face, even going into sensitive installations, there are people who say this is our fundamental right. Even if we go to schools, colleges, it's a fundamental right. We saw Dr. Shaheen Shahid's attempt of creating a woman's wing. The second narrative, women may not have equal right to property, but they can equally be participant in terrorism, and that stands established. What is the third aspect? The third aspect is security forces need to succeed 100 out of 100 times. They only need to succeed once. And why blame Pakistan? Let's be unflinching. These were doctors within India. They may have support from Pakistan. They may have some amount of help from Pakistan. They may not have also. That has to come out. They could themselves want to do it also without Pakistan's support. We do not know that. But the fact is they were doctors in India. We need to accept that reality also. And the last point, we need to now take preventive steps. We need to use our technology. We have AI on social media. If anybody sports it, celebrates it, sends a laughing emoji, don't just observe it. These are people enabling it. You have the powers. Book these people, arrest these people. Let the message go out that if in any shape, form or manner you support terrorism in India, you will go to jail.
You know, Rahul, we were preparing for the situation all this while because if you remember in 2019, there was an important anti-terror legislation which our government had passed where even individuals not affiliated to any organization could be designated as a terrorist. Now, unfortunately, these educated terrorists have once again proven, you know, that moonlighting as terrorists is a graver threat. It's a new age warfare. And, you know, I think we have been prepared for it. I think we should take a moment to acknowledge the brilliance of our security agencies because, you know, apart from the 2,900 kilometers of ammonium nitrate, there have been at least 10 terror attempts which have been thwarted in the last 5 years or so.
Okay, well, look, I mean, that's a larger debate. We were having it in the first section. But Faizan Kidwai, now, please respond, sir, and please take your time. I'm not hustling you, but I'm asking you to be honest tonight, please.
Yes.
I want to ask you
Yes,
this
I will be
question.
very honest.
What makes people who have been adjusted into society, given great respect, live the Indian dream,
Yes.
be completely benefit from upward mobility, want to, in the name of you know what, want to dismantle the Indian state? I want to ask you, why?
So these people have some twisted mind, just like Pradeep Kullar, who was funded by the taxpayers of India, but he was working for Pakistan to destroy India. These people are mentally disturbed, and these people should be hanged by the neck till death. I don't want any terrorist to stay alive. These people should be given the strictest possible punishment. As for BJP spokesperson, he said
can
he
I
was
ask you a
preparing
question?
since to the... Sir, please don't do this. Let me respond to BJP.
Okay.
Please let me respond.
Respond to BJP,
Okay.
sir. What about
Since BJP is saying, no, what about क्यों करूंगा सर? वो करें तो वाह, हम करें तो अरे, तो let me respond.
वो तो direct बोल रहे हैं आपको.
अरे मैं भी डायरेक्ट ही बोल रहा हूँ, आप बीच बीच में आ रहे हैं ना, वरना उन्हीं के पास जाने वाली, आप बीच में उड़ता हुआ तीर ले रहे हैं, मत लीजिए. देखिए, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि since 2000, इन्होंने बोला कि since 2019 नरेंद्र मोदी was preparing. How were you preparing, sir? I'm reading few names. Tell me, ये preparation घटिया है कि नहीं है? In Kashmir, Abdul Rahman Lone was made the BJP's Lola constituency in charge. Fayyaz Ahmad Najjar, BJP Baramulla constituency in charge. Bashrat Majid Mir, Kupwara BJP media cell head. What is common amongst these people as per Kashmir police? At some point in time, they all have gone to Pakistan and received training for terrorism. आप terrorists को लेकर के आते हो ताकि you can garner some votes. कितने pathetic हो. And the most pathetic individual in BJP is Mr. Modi himself, who said
imposters were found out, they were thrown outside the party. Unlike Samajwadi Party, which during 2004 to 2008 had made Azam को
अभी चुप हो जाओ ना, अब 2 मिनट.
नहीं, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, जब हमें पता चला कि ये imposters बीजेपी में घुसे हैं, we threw them out.
But can I ask a question, Faizan Kidwai?
Let me make a very important allegation today.
One second. No, forget all that. Let me ask Faizan Kidwai. 1 second. I want to ask you, Faizan Kidwai. Faizan Kidwai, listen to me.
This cannot be a one-way tree. No, sir.
I understand what you're saying. You're going to bring out a laundry list. It's okay. You can bring them out.
No, sir. Sir, please, sir, I request you, sir, it's important.
Rahul, have you heard of Indian Mujahideen?
Let him finish.
So let me just complete, sir. I request you, let me complete. Shamelessly, Narendra Modi was asking for votes for Pulwama martyrs who were martyred because of the intel failure of his government.
So viewers, now we are going into politics. Now we are going into politics. Have I talked about... No, have I talked... No, 1 second. Silence, please. Have I talked about... No, have I talked about your own boss, sir, who wanted to go out and release a large number of extremists in the Muzaffarnagar riots? No, I haven't, because I haven't made this political. I'm talking about ideology. And Faizan Kidwai, let me tell you, there's a massive difference. There's a massive difference between people who coalesce under the banner of Islam, Jaish-e-Muhammad, Lashkar-e-Toiba, the soldiers of God. One second. And they want to wage war, as opposed to a lone wolf who gets bribed. That's a very different, very different comparison. Those people, you can say, yes, they are Mir Jafars, but they are not invoking their religion, viewers. But there are certain people in this country who are, and who are getting an exemption. Because there are enough people in this country who will say that anyone questioning them are Islamophobic, and that's what you just heard, viewers, where the anchor of this show was accused of that. Because this is where we are at. Till the entire community doesn't stand up and say, not in my name, like they did, like Hindus did for Muslim brothers when Akhlaq was lynched. Till then, viewers, we will not have a whole of nation approach to fighting terror, and our enemies will continue to exploit these fault lines, and we will never come together. I leave it at this, viewers.